Blog Talk Radio.
Good evening. This is Tim Stafford with PIC Radio right here on the Blog Talk Radio Network, and we are so excited to have you as a guest with us tonight, listening here in America. I mean, here in the U.S., it's Memorial Day, so many of you may be, if you're in the U.S., then you may be celebrating Memorial Day, and if you're in Canada, you're one of our Canadian listeners or somewhere else all over the world, we just want to welcome you, and we're just so thankful for all the people that listen to us. PIC Radio is really about empowering you to not only just make wealth through real estate investing, but really to change your life and change the lives of others. And so that's what we really are striving to do that. And our guest host is just an amazing man who has done an amazing amount of work with helping people change their lives forever. And our special guest today is one of those great stories. And so without any further ado, I want to introduce our host, Sunil Tulsiani. Sunil, how are you doing? Happy Monday.
Hi, Tim. Good. How are you? Are you enjoying the holidays there?
I am. You know, as I'm sitting here right now, I smell the barbecue. So it's enticing.
Good for you. Well, I'm glad to be online, and I'm really, really excited to have Sadhana online as well as we bring her on shortly, who is a single mom. And one of the things that I got last week, we sent out an email to my entire list, and the email was how we're going to have this live event this Friday, Saturday, Sunday, being 31st of May to 1st of June, 2nd of June. And it's Robert Allen that's coming. We'll help bringing Robert Allen to Toronto. And one of his main training is how to buy properties with no money down. In fact, in 1990, he wrote a book, Nothing Down. And so when I sent this email out, I had especially real estate agents, actually 3 or 4 real estate agents in the Toronto area that said simply, look, this doesn't work in Canada. This is not doable, and so I won't come. And that's fine because they have a way of doing it, and this is their training. So their belief is simply that this does not work in Canada. It only works in the U.S. maybe, but not in Canada. So it's actually, of course, this interview that we're going to talk about, how Sadhana bought 18 properties, and I think that's like 40-some-odd doors that she bought, and majority of them she bought no money down. And so this just happens to line up perfectly because our Robert Allen event is coming this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and this is for people who want to invest in real estate with the strategies are no money down in real estate as well as multiple streams of income. And so we're in for a big treat. So when I got that email from some of the people that they say they can't do it, I understand because I would think the same way. But now when I get people like Sadhana on the radio and she talks about it and she tells you how exactly, in fact, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and ask her to actually go into one of her deals where she bought the property, the property's positive cash flowing, and she bought it with none of her own money. In fact, she didn't even use her own credit. So I'm going to actually have, and it's in Canada, in Ontario. So there's really no excuse for anybody who may not have the best of credit, may not have a lot of money or no money, to say that I can't invest after they hear Sadhana today. So it's not just maybe Sunil can do it because he has connections, but we're going to talk about how Sadhana did it when she started, and this is to inspire and help and actually motivate people to say this is the time to buy properties or become wealthy in real estate. So this is my goal today is to inspire people to say, okay, once for all, that this no money down and real estate strategy absolutely, without a doubt, works in Ontario or in Canada or in North America. And this is not just some course that you just buy binders, but that stuff does work. And as you may know, Tim, last time we talked about it, that Robert Allen was the gentleman that, or his course was very, very instrumental in myself when I went out from being a police officer and I was transitioning into being a real estate investor. And the first year that I bought 77 properties, it was his training that was very instrumental, at least from a real estate point of view, was very, very instrumental for me. So I want to set that stage from that point of view that we're actually going to have, that people who are listening, they're in it for a treat, that they're actually going to meet somebody who did it, and we're going to ask her how she did it. so hopefully this is very, very valuable.
Oh, I can't imagine it. Having grown up in a part of my life anyway with a single mom, I know how difficult that is, and I know how difficult it is to be in a family like that, and how difficult money is, and to hear that somebody was able to figure out a way to really pull themselves out of a difficult situation. I mean, that is inspiring, Sunil. I mean, we need more stories like that, because there are a lot of people who are struggling, but they don't have to struggle forever, and I think that's really the hope that PIC Radio wants to bring to people. Well,
the thing with with PIC Radio is simply that we actually want to obviously get speakers and get guests on radio that are very, very popular, who've done really, really well. So that's all good. But I also want to bring people that are maybe not very well known. They're just people like yourself, or people who are working every day, people who are going to work, coming back home. And then on a part-time basis, they started to do something like Sadhana did. And that is really the important part for somebody who's starting out, or somebody who has maybe one or two properties. When they see and hear somebody like Sadhana, they can identify that if she can do it, then there's no reason why I can't do it. And that's the goal, to help change people's lives financially. Yeah. So I would love to have Sadhana come back on, Tim, and let's start with her.
All right. Well, Sadhana Sadharwal. Did I get it right?
Yes.
Hi, Sadhana.
Hi, Sunil. Hi, Tim.
Hello.
Welcome to PIC Radio, Sadhana. How are you feeling?
Thank you. I am fine. Thank you.
Excellent, excellent. I just want to let everybody know that Sadhana is a wonderful person, and she's obviously a great real estate investor, but she's never been really interviewed on radio, especially being live. So we're going to, I'm just going to tell you, Sadhana, that you're going to do really well. I know you're going to do well, and let's just get into this interview. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
I am a single mom, as you said at the beginning of the show, with 3 kids. I've been on my own for about 15 years. I have a full-time job, and I work on real estate in my spare time. So
cool. And how long have you been doing that, Sadhana?
Real estate, I've been investing for just over 4 years now.
Just over 4 years. Sadhana, like I said, I'm not too sure if you heard me, but there are still a lot of people who say that you can't invest in real estate without using money, or if you have no money, you can't invest in real estate. What would you say to that?
I would say I am living proof that you can do real estate investing with no money down. Absolutely, you can do it.
Okay, and let's talk about this. Let's talk about the numbers. Tell us how many properties you bought in totality, how many doors, and how many of those properties were no money down?
I currently own 18 properties, including the house I live in. So apart from that, 12 of those deals were no money down deals. Those 18 properties, which is equivalent to 46 doors.
Perfect. And explain to us, what do you mean when you say 46 doors? When we talk about 46 doors, what does that mean, 18 properties, 46 doors?
If, for instance, I have a fourplex that's considered, even though it is one property, there's 4 living quarters in there, so which means 4 doors.
Ah, okay, sounds good. So you're basically investing in some multi-units.
Yes.
Okay, all right.
I think apart from my 2 properties that are single-family homes, everything else is multi-units.
Oh,
so
I
own
see. So
anywhere from a duplex to an 8-plex.
And so out of 18, 2 of them are single-family homes?
Yes.
And then 16 of them are multi-units.
Correct.
Excellent. And are they, maybe you can give us some, you don't have to tell us the exact cities if you don't want to, because I know you have a special system to find these properties and connections and all that. But maybe you can give us an idea where they are. Are they in Canada? Are they in Ontario? Where are these properties?
All of my properties are in Ontario.
In Ontario?
Yes.
Okay, great. Let's see. What else do I have? Why did you start investing in real estate? Let's talk about that, and then we're going to get into the meat of this as to how would you buy property with no money down.
Sunil, with 3 kids, I always need more money. I can never have enough money in my house because it's just, Mom, I need this. Mom, I need this. So it's always more money. So I started mostly, I guess I could say, for financial freedom and through passive income. So therefore, since I have a full-time job, I don't have too much time to spend on something where I'm not going to be online and stuff. So it's basically for financial freedom.
And define passive income for me, as far as you're concerned.
Passive income for me is where something I don't have to deal with every day. For most of my properties, I do have property management, so they do get a percentage of the rents that I take in, but I don't have to deal with anything. They take care of the broken toilet, or if it's the hot water tank is not working, they'll fix it, they'll let me know what happened, and that's about it. But it's not like I'm going to get a phone call at 2 a.m. saying, my hot water tank is broken, what should I do? Call the property management company.
Yeah, that's so. Is positive cash flow? Define positive cash flow for us. I know most people know, but just to from your point of view.
Positive cash flow to me is rent minus all the expenses for the property, including property management, and you still walk away with some cash in your hand.
Excellent. And when you invest in properties, what is the most important aspect of investing in real estate in regards to safety, return on investment? What is it that you look for? For
me, the very first thing I look for is the positive cash flow. If it doesn't cash flow, I won't look at it because, as I said, with my 3 kids, I don't need, even if it's $100 I'd have to put into a property, I don't need that extra burden. So unless any property is giving me something in return, I am not going to invest in it. That's my first and foremost.
Okay, perfect. All right, so let's get into what I want to do is I want to take you to one of your properties, perhaps maybe one of the first ones, if not the first ones, where you bought a property with no money down. And just give us an overview, the strategy of no money down, and then we can actually get into the numbers. Okay. Well, I'll share with you the very first joint venture deal that I did with using no money of my own and not using my own credit. Okay, so hang on a second. So joint venturing means, just explain joint venturing for the people who have never done one. Joint venture is, let's say, if I found the deal, meaning I did the research and I came across a deal and I have an accepted offer on it, let's say, and you're the money guy, I will bring you the deal and say, Sunil, would you like to partner up with me? Basically, joint venture is partnering on a deal. Okay. And so keep going. So what's my role and what's your role in joint venture in the scenario that you just said? You, as an investor, don't have to do anything. I will do all the work. I will find the deal. I will negotiate the deal.
I will look after all the fix-ups and stuff if there are any. And for you, at the end of the month, you'll get a check.
Okay, and what am I putting down? Give me an example. What kind of money am I putting down? Why am I getting a check? What percentage? How does that work?
Okay, well, I'll explain to you the first joint venture deal that I did. But before I say that, what I wanted to say is I started by educating myself. I started going to a lot of the real estate meetings, making those connections, getting ideas from other investors, just getting to learn how to do the numbers, how to figure out if a deal is good or not. So to me, those real estate meetings are really important.
Okay, good.
So this deal that I did as my joint venture was a duplex in a small town called Sault Ste. Marie, where the vacancy rate is like 1%. Some people may think it's far, but you know what? It's a 1-hour flight away.
Yes.
So nothing is far these days.
And when you say 1 hour from, you're talking about from Toronto area, correct?
Correct. 1 hour
Okay,
from
good.
Toronto.
Okay. Just in case, because this is going to go around the world, we just want to put it in perspective. So you're in the Toronto area. You found a property in Sault Ste. Marie, and go from there, please.
Okay. So I was going to say, it was at one of these real estate club meetings that I was talking about that I've attended so many of by now, that I met an investor who was buying properties in a small town in Ontario, and we just hit it off. And from there, she connected me with her real estate agent who had been working with real estate investors. So then I worked on that relationship for a while. I explained to him what I was looking for in properties, meaning positive cash flowing properties. And then he sent me a deal which was a duplex. I ended up buying for $52,000.
Okay.
So I had an accepted offer on that duplex, conditional upon financing. And then I figured, okay, I don't have the money to do this, so let me see how I can find a joint venture partner.
Okay, so let me stop you right there.
Yeah.
Did you find the property and put it under contract without having the money?
Correct. I did it conditional upon financing.
Right, and this is a very important aspect of this training or scenario that you're telling us, because you actually went out and got a property, put it under contract, even without having a joint venture partner yet, correct?
Correct. Because I was very confident of the numbers, as you will see in a bit.
Okay, good. Okay, so tell us. So you find this property, or you connect with a real estate agent that works with investors. He helps you find the property, and you go on from there.
Okay, so I put in an offer. I get it accepted. So then I chose for my joint venture partner this another lady that I used to see regularly at this club meeting. And then I approached her and I explained the deal to her. She instantly said yes once I told her the numbers.
Okay.
So, and then obviously then I went firm on the deal.
Okay. And in this aspect, when she said yes, what did she say yes to? How much money? What did she say yes to?
Well, I explained to her what she would need to come up with. Which
was?
The down payment, the closing costs, and in this scenario it needed a little bit of repairs as well. So in total, she had to come up with $17,000.
$17,000. Okay, great. And in this scenario, was there a mortgage?
Yes.
Okay, so whose name was the property under, and who took on the mortgage?
The property was placed under her name, and she took on the mortgage, and we have a trust agreement.
I see. So she took on the mortgage.
Mhm. Yes.
Okay. Why did you do that? Why did you put the property under her name, and why did you want her to get the mortgage under her name only, not between your name or between the two of you?
As far as putting the property in her name, I just wanted her to feel comfortable knowing that, also because it was my first deal, I did not want her to think, oh my God, she's going to run away with the property or something. So this way, she was comfortable, I was comfortable, And again, and that's when I talk about the connections, you really need to know the people you do business with as well, because if they're comfortable with you, I'm sure if I did it now, it would be different, but I have no problems with her. We've owned the property for about 4.5 years now. We still own it. We've become great friends since then, and, you move on.
Okay, so what was the benefit for her, and what was the benefit for you for doing it the way you did this one?
Well, as I said, the trust factor, all of a sudden you're making that trust factor come in, because if I trust her to be my joint venture partner, and if I trust her to have the property in her name, she wouldn't have any problem, even if she's putting
her
in
benefit.
the name, right? So even if she's putting the property in her name, she's also putting the money in.
Okay, all right. So what was your benefit? So just we can completely clearly point out to people who have never done joint venture partnership before.
Okay, so my benefit would be that once all the expenses are taken out of the rent, we both share the profits, the mortgage pay down, the cash flow, everything split down the middle, so 50-50.
50-50.
Yeah.
And did you not get the property no money down then?
Correct, I did.
Okay, and did you have to use your credit in this scenario?
I didn't have to use my credit, so I didn't.
Okay, cool. So you got a property, you got a joint venture partner, and then you showed the numbers to joint venture partner, which you're going to talk about, and then you set up a 50-50 agreement, 50-50 joint venture agreement.
Right.
Then she gets the property under her name, and she gets the mortgage under her name, correct?
Correct.
And she puts down the down payment.
Correct.
Okay. And from your point of view, you find the property and you set this joint venture agreement, and you didn't have to use your credit, or you didn't have to use any money, correct?
Correct.
Okay, great. All right, so let's so then do you still have that property, or you sold that, or do you still have it today?
We still own it today.
Perfect. And how long ago was that?
It was just over 4 years ago, January 2009.
All right. All right. So let's talk about the actual little bit of a nitty-gritty as to how you put this together. Give me let's go through the real numbers, round it up to a few dollars here and there, and just tell us what were the numbers that you shared with her, or you would share with me if I was your cash partner.
Okay. The gross rent for the 2 units, as I said, it was a duplex, so that means 2 separate units.
Okay.
The rents were $1,500 a month.
Okay.
Under the expenses, you have hydro, which was $350 a month.
Okay.
Heat, $120.
Yes.
Taxes, $100.
Yes.
Property management, $75.
Okay.
Insurance, $100.
Okay.
Vacancy allowance, I allowed in the numbers 5%, but the vacancy allowance for that town is like 1%. But 5% was $75.
Okay.
The mortgage was $180.
Okay.
And then we allowed 5% for upkeep, just for fix-ups or anything, $75.
Nice. Okay.
So the total for all those expenses is $1,075.
Okay.
So then you have the net cash flow for both partners. That would be $1,500 less the expenses of $1,075, which is $425.
Right.
So she gets 50% and I get 50%. So which is half of $425 is $212.50.
Okay.
So if you annualize that times 12 is $2,550 for the year.
Is that $2,550 per person?
Yes.
Okay.
So her ROI is return on investment for that $17,000 is 15%.
How did you come up with that 15%? Tell me, explain to me, how did you come up with that 15%?
You take the $2,550, divide
which
it by
is the positive cash flow?
Which is the positive cash flow for the year.
Okay.
Divide that by the amount of money she put in, which is $17,000.
Okay.
And you get the return on investment.
Okay, so when you're showing her the numbers, she sees that she's making 15% without calculating the appreciation or mortgage pay down.
Correct.
Okay, so 15% is basically just based on rents.
Correct.
That's cool. That's very good.
That is now worth about $85,000.
So it's gone up in value from 52
Yep.
to 85.
Mhm.
So over $33,000. And then does she get? So the setup is that she gets half of that, correct? Whenever you guys sell it or refinance it.
Yes.
Okay,
They'll get her money out, and then whatever's left over, we'll split it 50-50.
Okay, so is 15% rent? Is that the norm that you see, or what could a normal investor can expect to make normally?
I would say 10 to 12%.
10 to 12%. So let me ask you this. I get asked this question all the time, which is this. Wait a minute. You're going to find a person that is going to put the mortgage under their name, and we're going to find you're going to find the same person to put 100% of the money for buying, fixing, and closing costs, and they're willing to do 50%, or they're willing to accept 50% of the profits, not 100% of the profits. How do you tackle that? What would you say to that?
Well, I always say, without my deal, your money's just sitting in the bank at 1%.
Yes.
So you can have 15%, or you can have 1%.
Okay, great. So the person who's buying, or your joint venture partner, in this case, gets to see that they're making 15%, correct?
Correct.
And that's not the end, right?
No, because it keeps on going.
Go ahead. I'm sorry?
It still keeps on going. It's like $2,550 every year. The mortgage on that property, I believe right now, is about $15,000. We've been aggressively paying it off.
Yes.
So whenever we sell it, it's going to be pure profit.
Perfect. That's very good. At the end of the day, what is the exit strategy in this case? Let's say, because I'm sure there's lots, but let's just stick with this. What is the exit strategy?
We thought about revisiting this property in 5 years. In other words,
okay.
We'll see if it has gone up, let's say double in value, maybe we'll sell it. But at the time when we bought it, we figured we could hold on to it because it's giving positive cash flow. Normally, you don't get that much of a good return. So when you get a property that is giving you a good return on your money, there is no point in selling it.
Right.
So at the beginning of next year, we will revisit it and say perhaps we could refinance and use the money to buy another property.
Okay.
Or we could look at selling it. I mean, the way I see it is it's truly a win-win situation for both sides.
Absolutely. How about the strategy? And we're just talking, and I know we're on the radio, but how about strategy of going back and refinancing it, and then giving her all her money back now? And in this case, now she's into the property with no money down, and then because you refinanced it, and of course you should check it with your chartered accountant and your tax attorney, that chances are you won't have to pay any taxes because you didn't sell the property.
Correct. I have offered her that, but right now we're thinking of just bringing the principal or the mortgage down to zero. At that time, we'll have a lot more money in the property. Just refinance it once, and then get enough money out to buy another property. So that's the goal.
Cool. That's also a great way of looking at it for sure. Okay, great. Is there anything that I didn't ask about this joint venture? Because I think we needed to see that. We needed to hear from you that this is real and that this could be doable. Anything you want to say?
Well, I was going to say this was my first JV partnership, and I have done many more since then. I think I've done 12 no money down deals out of the 18 properties that I own. So I can say I know maybe a thing or two about no money deals, no money down deals.
Obviously, you're going to be doing them more and more, correct?
Yes, I have been, and I hope to continue.
Absolutely. And if somebody wanted to get hold of you, by the way, I know that you went on with your pro forma before I give away your, or you give away your email address or so. I know that you went through your pro forma, right? That you just talked about what you showed to your partner. Right. Is it okay if you were to use your pro forma and actually give it away to everybody?
Absolutely. Sure.
Sounds good. So, Tim, we're going to just we have Sadhana's permission, so we're going to have her pro forma actually under the notes section of this radio clip. Is that okay?
That would be great. I'll be glad to put it there for everyone to click on and download.
Absolutely. Okay, so what I will do is I will ask Sadhana to, if somebody wanted to connect with you, if they wanted to do joint ventures or they ask you questions, or they wanted to get into a passive investment opportunity, how do they get hold of you?
I can give them my email address. It's
Go ahead.
SADHANASABHARWAL@hotmail.com.
Perfect. And we're going to have that email address on that under those notes as well. Tim is going to do that for you. Sadhana, thank you very much for coming on the radio. We really appreciate you sharing your story and actually going into the nitty-gritty and to really inspire people who believe that there is no such thing as no money down. So thank you for coming on the radio show.
Thank you.
Excellent. Sounds good. Tim, I just wanted to close off. I know we're pretty close. Actually, we kind of went over a couple of minutes. I want to close off by saying that Robert Allen is coming. If people are still wanting to get access to those tickets, they're still available. We have over 500 seats gone now, and we do have some seats available. So if you want to come and join me personally, join Sadhana and Robert Allen and many other people, you can simply send us an email, and Tim, if you can put that email address for us so people can get hold of, or you can send it to Janet at privateinvestmentclub.ca. Send an email to Janet at privateinvestmentclub.ca. We're also going to send you a link, YouTube link, about this 3-day event that's coming May 31st, June 1st, June 2nd, with Robert G. Allen, myself, and some of the other speakers that are going to be there. And lastly, before I go away, I know some of you have bought my book, the second book that I had with Brian Tracy. The book is called, it's actually available on Amazon itself, and it's Brian Tracy, myself, and my contribution to the book is about how to brainwire yourself for success, how to brainwire yourself for success. And to get that free downloadable book, all you have to do is go to privateinvestmentclub.ca/big, privateinvestmentclub.ca/big. And I hope that you guys have enjoyed today's show and enjoy these books, and I hope to see all of you at the Robert Allen's event. Thank you very much. Tim, anything to say at the end?
Absolutely. Well, this has been PIC Radio, and we are so thankful for all of you that have been a part of it. And remember that real estate investing, although is a great opportunity to make wealth, it also is a great opportunity to help those around you and to give hope to those who are looking for answers. So we're just really glad that we can be a part of it. God bless. See you later.
Thank you, Ting. Thank you for producing the show. I appreciate it. Thank you.
All right. Thanks, Neil. See you next week.
Bye-bye.